Welcome into the Clear as Mud podcast, where your host, Peepaw Riveter and Banana, breaks down all the latest YouTube drama. And boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you today. Do we not, Banana?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
we have a hell of a show.
We have a hell
quite
of
a few
show.
things have happened while we were gone between our, intermediary period of not having a show. Yeah.
Well, we tried to have a show last Sunday, and that went totally tits up.
Yeah, it's just like nothing we could do to salvage that. We just had to say, "Fuck it, we're doing it. We're doing it tomorrow. Fuck it, we're doing it live."
Yep. And so we did make up. We did do it Wednesday. So if you haven't, if you didn't catch us Wednesday, even though we did try to announce as best we could, the VOD's up on the channel. Check it out. It is not one of our usual wackadoodle, whimsical, just nonsense. This one was kind of a
different tone.
It was a very something that was serious in nature and something that was important to Banana and I both, and so we felt like we needed to cover it, and we did. So
yep.
Anyway,
I think it was a good show. I think it was worth watching. Yeah, it's very informative. I think
100%.
Kind of us pegging down some stuff that's going on in mainstream culture. And what's going on with in public intellectuals, journalists, all that stuff. We've got JFA in the chat. We've got Mr. Gamer. Is this stream about Salvo not paying his editor? Ooh, you are jumping the gun on the story there. Maybe kind of.
Don't be hasty, Mr. Bags.
Don't be so presumptuous.
Yeah.
You don't know what tricks we got.
And then JFA says, SFTP stream, catch you two later.
Oh, there you
Bye,
go.
bitch. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you.
He'll watch the restream. Don't worry. He can't help but watch everything in the community to see if somebody says his name. I know what JFA's about. He's got. He's just trying to get that clout capital up and running. Yeah. Don't be sorry. I'm just giving you a hard time, Mr. Gamer. Yeah. We've also got Stream Elements bot in the chat. It's telling us that it's running. That's good. We have our Stream Elements good to go.
Well, yeah, because without that, without the overlords telling us what to do, we wouldn't know what to do or what to say.
That is correct. We are at the whims of much higher and more astute people that don't, AI robots that run YouTube.
Yeah. So, all right, we've got a lot to unpack. We have a finite window to get this into today because shortly after this stream, I've got to hop over and Dead on Dave is going to be covering some stuff and how part of what we're going over today is directly tied to him, and so he's going to be doing his own thing. So go over there and producing for him. But anyway, so let's just kind of get into it. We had Keemstar and Savo Pancake. Oh, hang on here.
All right, it's the infamous.
We had a donation from Nick Gehertz.
Oh, Gehertz.
Gehertz says, "Don't worry, I won't leave you two. I even have a split soft spot for that cross-burning banana grabber." Hi, Riveter.
Whoa! Hold on. Time out.
Sounds like to me, Nick has got your number.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not one for costumes and going out at night. I don't believe in that organization. They're all about witchcraft, and that's not very Christian. Also, they don't seem to like many other people than themselves.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
no,
anyway. I'm actually joining ISIS. That's a better group. Yeah,
are you?
So you can catch me in Kabul.
Okay. Well, all right. So anyway,
sorry. Yeah.
Well, of course, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set our sources because I am a Egypt.
Our sources.
So anyway, some of you might be aware, Keemstar recently launched a new YouTube channel called The Keemstar Show. And
you mean Keemstar, the drama mogul of YouTube, the guy who made drama on YouTube a thing that talks about all the different creators in the space? That Keemstar, the legendary, the gnome. The Alex is a bleep.
Yes, also known as the Rat.
The
affectionately,
rat.
that was affectionately, I guess, termed by
He can run
Colossal's
very fast,
Crazy.
I've heard. Yeah.
Colossal's Crazy called him the Rat. Or later on when they did their podcast together, he called him Killer DJ, or it was DJ Killer Keemstar. That's what it was. DJ Killer
Yeah,
Keemstar.
DJ. He's like, I'm not a DJ anymore, and he got really upset about it because he's a baby.
He's a baby, exactly. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
A very successful baby. Sorry.
Yes. So he started this show called the Keemstar Show, and he is hosting it with, and anyway, the co-host on here is Sabo Pancakes. Now, you and I both like Sabo. We find him a breath of fresh air for this community. Is that a?
I think he's funny. I think he's funny. I think it's funny that he'll like he flippantly doesn't give a shit. Like because we defended him on the racist thing. Yeah. Whenever people were trying to call him, and then he immediately called somebody racist on the next on his next tweet or whatever, and it was funny to me because he doesn't care.
He does. He has zero fucks to give, and I'm here for it.
I am too. And I think it's great.
So anyway, so he started up the show. It's up to a little over 14,000 subs. Now initially they were putting out a finished product, and what I mean by that was edited and cut, and all the stuff, that little fancy things and whatever, right?
Right.
And then what happened was they had a little mishap with the not the last show, but the show before that. They had put out they recorded an episode, I think, right? And they've hired a producer, full-time producer, to do this show.
Okay.
And that producer is a friend of ours.
No way.
Yes. Kristen Ark.
Kristen Ark is producing the show?
Kristen Ark is producing the show. 100%. Yes.
Holy shit. Congratulations, Chris. That's sick. Yeah, I saw he was, we saw a bunch of tweets from Chris with him hanging out with Salvo, and then Salvo mentioning that he would be in some form or fashion a member of the new show, but we didn't know what kind of role that would be. Also, I saw Nerdy John in the waiting room. John, come back. We'll pull you in.
Yeah, I was just fixing to pull him in, and he I was letting you finish your thought, let you know I was going to pull him in, and he But anyway, come on back in, Nerdy. We'll pull you right in, bud. So anyway,
always welcome. Always welcome.
So what happened is that somehow the audio, the microphone, because with the webcam you have the web, but then it also has a built-in microphone, right? Well, for some reason that audio source was not killed out of OBS, and so when they recorded it, they didn't know they had this like echoey type.
Strike one, audio. Chris.
Well, okay, fair enough. But the problem is when it was edited and put together, no one evidently nobody noticed it, and they put it up there to premiere. No one actually listened to the final product before they were
hilarious.
So anyway,
hilarious.
Hilarity
you know that Salvo and Keem just could not be fucking bothered to like listen to the show back. I mean, why would they? Nah.
I guess I don't know, but anyway, so it all got dumped on Chris's head.
Of course it did. You're working with Keem, so remember
that. Anyway, I felt bad because I've been producing for Dave. It's a thankless job. It really is, and it's not. But here's the thing. Whereas all I'm basically doing is curating some stories, plus putting up some videos, tweets, things like that, pictures, what have you, on the screen for Dave. Poor old Chris is actually live in a studio, man, and he's having to control audio levels. He has to control camera.
He's not like an audio engineer.
No,
or anything formally. I meant formally. Like he's definitely qualified. No. I'm not trying to talk shit.
No.
But I'm saying like he's not like that's not like his
he didn't go to, exactly. Yeah, he didn't go to school to be an audiologist, right? To where he's ready. He's used to running.
But he's more than capable.
100%.
But I'm sure it's a big responsibility considering it's a large production with two very wealthy people that are producing it.
Okay, so. I'll just say this, right? This show, for what it's worth, I do all the tech stuff behind it, right?
Yeah, I don't do anything. It's if the audience doesn't know, I'm actually like the laziest person on earth. I basically show up and make Riveter as a slave, produce all of the show, and I say you have to, or else I'll I don't know. I didn't know where I was going with that.
But
Yeah.
anyway, and I've been in IT and doing around this stuff for over 30 years, and even I screw up and we have problems all the time, right? So
Yeah.
that being said, Chris is doing a wonderful, fantastic job.
Yes.
And he just needs a little bit more time to kind of get a couple of bugs worked out as you would expect there to be, right?
Right.
Okay, so anyway, it's such a hot garbage mess. What happens is they decide to redo it, but they're going to do it as a live stream to make up, right?
Good.
So oh, hang on here.
Uh-oh.
Just got another dono. This one is from Dead Home Dave. Says, sorry, Riv, may not be streaming at this point. Computer keeps restarting on its own. It's not OBS.
I would check the donation tag on that to make sure it wasn't our friend JFA trolling.
Yeah,
he is a tricksy guy. He's trying to derail everyone. Agent of Chaos JFA.
But I don't know.
He's like he's like the faceless god from Game of Thrones. He wears different face. He goes around.
But see, that kind of goes against what I have seen from him in certain Discord servers. Talk about how he's reformed, that he's not that Agent of Chaos anymore, and that's
not true. Don't trust him.
You don't trust him.
You should always watch JFA. Always watch him.
Okay.
The other day, I tuned into Dead on Dave. Y'all were having a stream, and I noticed in the bottom of the donation box, Banana Grabber, and I was like, I'm poor right now. I don't remember donating to Dead on Dave, so I scroll back and I see a lovely message saying some weird things from Banana Grabber, and I'm like, was that you, JFA? Don't lie to me. I provide no content. All right, JFA.
So, but anyway, so they've birthed and they've decided now that they're going to do nothing but live streams, right?
Good. I think that's a good medium. Yeah.
I think it is awesome. I think
we need more live shows in the space.
Well, I think live shows gives you a raw perspective of the people, right? Because it's not polished and they don't have time to edit out things that they might say, oh, I wish I hadn't said that. Well, it's too late. Shit's out there.
It's off the cuff. Yeah.
Exactly right. So I think it's a very smart move and what aim for. But let's get into why we're talking about the Keemstar show.
Enough pretext.
We've given enough context here. Okay, so what happened was, so that live show the show went live. Right?
What the fuck is Keem wearing? Is that like a blue bandana? Is that a do rag? What is that?
He does do rags. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so. Anyway, Keemstar, they do this live show. So Keemstar, like a lot of content creators, myself included, once the show's over with, you give a little bit of time and then you go out and you start looking at different metrics, right? Different social media. You look at social media season. People talk about it there and whatever, right? And Banana will tell you, I do that shit because I'm constantly texting him and I'm showing him screenshots and showing him, hey, we've had, this is what's happening with this latest episode, right? I feed him that information and stuff, right, to keep him abreast, because that's not something that Banana is, I guess, and I don't want to, but it's just not something that you dial into or care a whole lot of. I mean, you care about a show doing well, but you just don't follow it like I do, right? I mean, you don't obsess.
Which show would this be?
Our show.
Oh, our show. I care about the show a lot. Yeah.
No,
I care about it.
Okay, but what I was saying is like after we do a show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I will send you screenshots and stuff saying, hey, look at the views, look at this, all this stuff, right? To make sure you're aware of it and stuff, because you don't obsess over it like I do.
Oh no, I can't. No, because I am an addict in my addict brain. If I get too heavily involved, I will have no connection with anyone in my real life. So I need to compartmentalize things. Exactly. That's why I don't hang out. Like as soon as the show's over, I leave, and I don't I probably should network a bit more. That is something that's like not conducive to the thing we're doing, which is being online and having a show. But like the thing is just like I don't know. I like if when I was doing that, I was on the computer like 5 hours a day, and I wasn't going out to do anything with friends. I wasn't going to the gym. It wasn't a good balance. I'm not good with balance or moderation. So I, it's hard for me to get to like do something like in a normal amount.
Yeah, and
So I
so
restrict myself.
yes, and
Yeah.
so that's why I give you small little ingestations of it to kind of help you with that, right? And I say just
Yeah.
so you're kind of aware of it, but you're not having to do it. Like, see, anyway,
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'd go insane, and I'd be like
yeah,
one of these guys that gets on the camera and is like, somebody didn't like my tweet. And I know myself.
yeah,
I know like
yeah.
that's exactly what I do. Or like I would say that like our video wasn't like it literally got like 10 views less, and I would have like a schizophrenic break.
So basically like what Keemstar does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway,
Just not successful.
yeah.
Any,
So anyway, so Keemstar, right? So
yeah.
Keemstar is doing what he, like I said, going out there and saying, okay, let's go out there and let's see here. Yeah. So I had to get that source set there. Anyway, so Keemstar was out there checking social media feeds, looking at the metrics and so on and so forth after this live stream that was a really good job. They did a real good job on it, right? And so anyway, they're looking at it and he sees a video that is saying the Keemstar show didn't pay me. Right? Because I'm sure he was probably doing a search on the word Keemstar show, right? To kind of see what was out there. And
well, it is uncanny how quick Keem finds things about himself. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
good
anyway,
point.
And maybe he may even have like a what they call a Google alert set up, right, on certain words.
Or he has spies, little spies.
Who knows? Whatever.
He's a network.
So anyway, he puts out this tweet, and he says, "Hey, moron." And he says, and this is at Sabo Pancake, says, you need to pay this person if this is real. I literally told you to make the trailer. I didn't know you hired somebody and then didn't pay them, right? So let's
Keem to immediately throw your co-host under the bus. So JFA puts into the chat, I thought this drama was settled years ago. No, we're not talking about the 33.3% owed to who was that? Tommy C or Colossal is Crazy? From the baited days.
Okay, so the baited podcast back in the day, yeah, there was it blew up over a percentage of payments and stuff. That's not what we're talking about.
I know. I'm just I know what JFA is talking. He's
being JFA.
It's a similar situation though. So it's good.
Oh, sure. So anyway, let's listen to what this. And let me back up the Twitter feed here, or the little video here, and let's just listen to what this guy has to say.
I was reached out to by Salvo Pancakes to edit a trailer for the Keemstar show. According to Salvo, they agreed to pay me $70 for my work. However, it's been over 2 weeks, and I've attempted a number of times to reach out to Salvo to no avail. I vented my frustrations to Buster Live about not being paid when I dropped everything I was doing to create a time-sensitive trailer under the impression that I was actually going to be paid for my work. I have a screenshot from Buster and Salvo's conversation. Secondly, I was reached out to by...
Okay. So this guy puts out this video saying, hey, Salvo reached out to me. You guys heard it. I ain't been paid. Keemstar says, hey, moron. Okay. Pay this guy, right?
Why hasn't he been paid?
Yeah, right. So Willie Max says, Salvo, not cool, right? And and then Nick hones in on a mention that comes up, and this was just a thing from Chris saying, if I'm paid a shit ton just to train and see a specialist from my back while working out, I'd consider it. Mudahar says, I'll pay him. No one should be cheated out of money. Okay, so Mudahar comes this. And then MetaPC says, it's cool. We paid the editor. And they sent them $100 to this guy, James Cook. Now, and James Cook is the name of the editor. Okay.
Right.
Now, if that was all there was to it, but there wasn't. Okay. So things escalate a little bit. And there's this
First of all, before you reveal the next piece of the story, how hard is it to just, you make the type of money that Salvo and Keem make, pay the fucking guy. It's like the cost to risk benefit ratio or whatever.
Hang on. We got to back up a second. We can't say the kind of money that Salvo makes.
Why? Salvo's he's doing well.
Okay. How's Salvo doing well?
Let's look at his social. What's his social blade? Let's see. Salvo
Okay,
pancakes.
you do know that his YouTube channel got demonetized, right, by YouTube. So he's
Yeah, but
taking zero money in.
he doesn't have a donation stream set up.
He does have donations set up now, yes, but there's no way to accurately track. As far, I mean, I guess you possibly could sit there, watch every stream, write down every dollar amount.
Okay, well, it's a moot point, right? But like, yeah, I mean, one of them is a multimillionaire, and it's Keemstar. So like, you know,
bingo.
$100 is like nothing. I mean, nothing.
Okay.
And I know rich people hate like that shit. They go, it's I still have to worry about money too. It's like, yeah, but you're like,
but here's the thing: it wasn't even $100. It was $70.
$70.
The guy agreed. Now, Meta PCs threw the guy $100. I guess $30 for inconvenience or late or whatever you want to call it, out of the goodness of their heart. But they took care of the guy. Fair enough, right?
Right.
But this is where the point of contention comes into play.
Okay,
right?
Here we go. Right.
So the point of contention is this: is that Salvo is an employee to Keemstar. It has come out in video, and it has come out that Keemstar is paying Salvo $1,000 a week to do this show. So Salvo is getting paid $52,000 a year. If here's the big if the podcast actually goes a full year, which let's just say we don't know that there's some the track record in Keemstar and podcast are not that great, right? Be it Baited or be it Mom's Basement or so on and so forth, right? And Keemstar's now to paint a full broad picture here, Keemstar says that it was because he never solely owned the podcasts, Baited or with Mom's Basement, and so he was totally dependent upon these other people to do their whatever, right? Okay, fine. He was just a partner or whatever. He wasn't total ownership. That's his argument of why his past, endeavors in this field are not still going on. Okay, that's fine. If that's, and here's what I'll say to that: if that's your claim, if that's what you're saying, this deal is, then that means you're the sole owner of this podcast or this show now, the Keemstar show. And that means you are ultimately responsible, right? Now here's where it gets real confusing. Keemstar says that he never approved this expense, this $70 expense. He never approved it. Okay. This was not something, and a matter of fact, one of the tweets he puts out, he said that nobody has buying authority for anything for the Keemstar show other than him and his management team, and he links them as well in this tweet. And he says, okay, so nobody can make any purchases or make any kind of deals or anything, right? He's saying Salvo went rogue on this deal.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough. The problem, and herein lies this. Okay. So they ultimately did use this trailer for their show, right? So they used this guy's work. Now, whether or not, irregardless if Keemstar knew about it or not, he used the work, right? So he's making money off of it. He's the sole owner of this channel. Okay. So what as a business owner, I mean, I can understand his point. I didn't authorize this. Okay. But you used it. So what you do is you take it up with your employee, i.e. Salvo, right? Give him a tongue lashing, give him a written reprimand, whatever, that type of thing. Yeah. But ultimately you still are on the hook to pay the guy. I'm sorry. Keemstar is on the hook.
It needs to be done in a timely manner. Yeah,
exactly. The guy should have been. Now, in Keemstar's defense, if he didn't know about it, right, and he was not aware of it, okay, I give him the benefit of the doubt on this, right? Okay, but he found it, right? So the smart business thing to do, in my opinion, and as a former, I've owned my own businesses and stuff. So the smart thing to do, right, is
right.
You reach out to the guy and say, listen, I was not aware of this. I apologize. What's your PayPal? What's your Vimeo? What is it? Whatever different kinds of methods there is out there to send money these days, right?
Right.
Send him the money. Then you get Salvo on the phone in a phone call or whatever and say, hey, listen, moron, don't be doing this shit. You're wrecking my brand. As a matter of fact, going forward, you're not authorized to do anything like this ever again. And doing so, termination, whatever, right? Hell, for that matter, take the $70 out of his damn paycheck for that week or whatever.
Dock his pay.
Pay, whatever.
But there's a reason why this was done publicly on Twitter. And what do you think that reason might be?
Okay.
River?
Well, okay, but here's what we don't do, Keemstar.
Oh, okay.
We don't signal boost the shit and point out what kind of marketing. Okay, so maybe this is some marketing genius. I don't know. Why is it maybe possibly a marketing genius? Okay, so this has been a hot topic on Twitter. There's been tweets going back and forth. Oh, hang on, we got another donation here. Okay, so Nanny Faye.
Nanny Faye.
Nanny Faye's back here with the daughter. Says Salvo wouldn't have paid the whiny artist if he wasn't so busy kissing Keem on the lips. Dear me. Well, he didn't kiss Keem,
Nanny
but he was.
Faye, it is 2022. It's okay to love in any form. As long as it's legal.
100%. But he wasn't.
A little bigoted southern bigotry from Nanny.
Just for the record, to set it straight though, it wasn't Keem that Salvo was kissing. It was Kristen Art. But anyway,
yeah, get your facts straight. By the way,
get your straight. But anyway, so is this a
Thank you for your
smart
money.
business? Is this a smart business ploy? I guess the down to earth level guy, no, you would have took care of this, kept this hush hush. But Keemstar, I guess him being the marketing genius that he is, this blew up all over Twitter. You've had people like Edwin's generation. You've had Dead on Dave talking about on his Twitch channel. Matter of fact, Keemstar called into Dave's Twitch, where I think Dave had maybe maybe a dozen people watching him or whatever at the time, and they kind of went back and forth about it. Tommy
and the click mill continues. Yeah, it
yep,
ramps up all the interaction.
Dave and Tom was talking about Dave and Tom. Tommy and Dave was talking on Tommy C's show just earlier today. So Augie RFC was talking about this. Nick DiOrio actually went and did had a live stream. I think he was talking about this, and Nick had his own kind of I don't know what we gonna call it, little what do you call it? What's the word we're looking for here? Expose on him that occurred. So there for a while, I thought this entire community was going to be wiped out for $120. I was ready to pull out my own billfold and start paying people off just so they'd quit exposing some of my favorite content creators so I could keep them around. I didn't want to get them canceled over $120 for crying out loud. But anyway, I digress a little bit. So anyway, so this kind of all blows up and stuff, and it gets to the point to where all of a sudden, back on the just a couple of 3 days ago, Salvo takes a screenshot of this group chat that I guess a lot of the bigger creators and stuff in this space are a part of, and it says this is Keemstar, I guess referring to Salvo here. Haha, let's see, buddy. You've been fired as of now.
Uh-oh.
So that got people's tongues wagging. It was, okay, what now? Salvo been fired? What's going on? People thought, okay, is this a work? What's going on, right? And so anyway, Salvo decides to put out a Twitter video. And so he puts out a Twitter video, and this is in reference he says, regarding the scammed editor. So let's listen to what Salvo has to say here.
Salvo Pancakes is not a scammer. Yeah, you've probably seen that video of that editor claiming that Salvo Pancakes in the Keemstar show didn't pay him the $70 that he that we agreed on. That is true. I didn't pay that because I didn't think that it was my responsibility of an employee of a company to pay that. The story that is being spun is not exactly the truth. I don't care about the truth really in this situation. It's funnier to act like I'm a scammer. But I'm not a scammer. I've outsourced $590 this year in edits and art commissions. $590. That guy didn't get his $70 from me because, frankly, I don't believe, and I still don't believe, it should have come from Salvo Pancakes.
So Salvo, says, I don't think it should come from me. Okay. So here's where it gets interesting. So Dead on Dave says, I agree with you. You are acting on behalf of the Keemstar show. The work was for his show. This should have been a case of a simple invoice sent to Keem from either you or the editor. Now, if you wanted to be proactive or just a nice guy, you could have paid and got reimbursed. I think Dave brings out a very, level-headed approach to this thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Keemstar responds to Dave. It says, dumb on Dave strikes again.
Fucking Keem. He just never, he's like Trump. He'll give everyone a dumb nickname, and he cannot let any kind of, even like remotely like vague criticism. It could be the lightest sprinkling of criticism. And Keem would be like, this guy's a fucking traitor. It's hilarious.
And his source of dumb on Dave and why he puts out a tweet that he tweeted the day before, which was after all this happened, by the way, right? Public notice. Only Keemstar or my management, LFM Talent, hires people to work on the Keemstar show. No one else has authority to do so. So he sources himself from a tweet the day before, which is way after, because by the time this video stuff came out, this guy made this video stuff, right? I think we're talking about 2 or 3 weeks had it expired, right? So this is 2 or 3 weeks past that, right? But Keemstar is basically saying, hey, trust me, bro, here's my source. And my source is me.
I am the ultimate source.
I am the only source that matters, right?
Yeah. And I agree. Frankly, I agree. You can only trust yourself in life.
Exactly, right?
If you let anyone in, it's a game over.
Yeah. So Dave says, if it was your show, you should have paid it, in my opinion. I don't know the specifics, obviously, but it's clear you guys didn't communicate enough on it. But ultimately, if you used it for your show, it's your tab, or at least I'd pay it if in that situation, but you do you. Okay. Now,
very reasonable take so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So Keemstar says, it's my show. You're using the typical idiot woke tactics.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Not everything's woke, Keem.
Fucking Keem.
Anyone who disagrees, you're woke.
Keemstar is throwing buzzwords as hard and fast as he can to try to get somebody to come to his side of thinking and logic on this, right?
It's like the I Show Speed thing. It's like a young black creator was just banned. It's like he's implying racism at every corner. He doesn't care. Anything to work in his benefit, you know?
Yeah. He goes on to say, you ignore half your own point that it's my show without recognizing that. Only I can decide to spend money on services or not.
Ah, yes. I can have my cake and eat it too of entrepreneurship, of course.
Oh, 100%.
It's my kingdom. I make the rules, and they're subject to change at literal moments notice without me telling anyone.
Well, and here's the thing too, right? So, and Dave says, he says, I don't know specifics, obviously, but it's clear you guys didn't communicate enough on it, right? So so Keemstar's not even going to address the fact that he and Salvo obviously has not had a serious heart-to-heart conversation as far as this is what your role is here specifically. This is what you cannot do, right? You cannot go out and commission shit. You cannot go out and hire people. Only I could do this. So that's not a conversation. So there was obviously not a clear outline of duties and responsibilities for the position that Keemstar had hired Salvo for. Okay. So Dave says, well, yeah, you always get to decide, lots of lettuce, and people can decide to disagree with your choices. If I was assigned to get something for the Army, for instance, when I was in, I would have been given an expense card or filled a form to get reimbursed. Okay. Now, I too, as a person who has worked in corporate America, there were people out there who had a company credit card, right? And so when they would go out and do things that was company related, they would use that company credit card so they did not have to put out of pocket their own money up front, but they still had to invoice that and show it on their expense report and put the receipt on there saying, hey, I did this. It was charged to the company credit card. You guys have this as your record now to go against, for tax purposes and things like that, right?
Yeah, and for my job, I have a fleet vehicle, so I use a card to maintain that vehicle. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a way to keep track of all the money spent on that one thing, because it's all going towards the product or
Sure.
the business.
The end result, right?
Yeah.
Now,
And usually that's like something you establish. Like, did they not have any kind of like they just set up did they even set up an LLC or anything? Like they just
I
winging
don't
it,
think so. I think they're just okay. I think it's kind of like, honestly, I think here's the deal. I think it's kind of like this show we do here, right? It's not LLC, right? But you and I had a before we ever started this show,
we have a handshake agreement.
But we sat down, right? And we had a thorough conversation as far as this is what we're going to do on the show. This is your financial responsibilities. This is my financial responsibilities. And before we went and did anything, like for example, when we had the music made, or when
the
we
great
had
DrSharvago,
the
amazing,
great
talented artist.
Zhivago, right?
Yes.
Or when we decided we wanted to do a revamp of our graphic layout and stuff, right? And we went to my buddy, what can't I remember his name? DMax. We went and had a conversation with him. You and I both had a conversation with him at the same time. We discussed what we wanted. We put our, and he came back and said, this is what it will cost. You and I sat down and said, yes, we can afford that. Yes, we're going to do that. And so you and I,
it's a negotiation, the level of communication that needs to happen when you're doing anything, because it's a responsible thing to do whenever there's money involved in a project. Now, if you're doing a multi-million-dollar project or something close to that, something that could be lucrative, considering the pull that certain individuals have, you'd usually have an LLC formed, and then you'd have like lawyers to, go over like who gets what and draw out like, like ownership rights of this project. Right. But here's the thing. I'm banking on the idea that and this is no offense, I don't know how, Salvo, I feel like he would be way more savvy with business, because he seems to be connected in a way that predates his channel, Salvo Pancakes, to some big guys, big business in other ways. Kristen Ark, I know he's a swell guy, and I don't know how familiar he is with how any business stuff works. I just know he has a great show. I would imagine that Keem would rely on naivety in this situation. And so, like, as just somebody who's purely about business, it's not even like him being a bad guy. It's just purely amoral. He'll rely on their naivety to capitalize as much as possible on, things like this.
So to put it in such a way as to his advantage, right? To Keemstar's advantage,
so like,
right?
he'll play coy and he'll allow them to stay in the dark on some stuff that he would be savvy about, because there's no way in hell Keem doesn't know how these things work. At this point, he owns multiple businesses. He's very connected. He's a multimillionaire. Like I keep saying that, but it's true. Like that's to tell you, not he's rich and rich people are bad, but the fact that he owns a number of enterprises that in projects that he would have a fair amount of legal involvement with.
And I'll just say this too, that kind of go hand in hand with you, right? So I would dare say that if Keemstar is owner of this show, I have no doubt in my mind, because Keemstar is a businessman, and he is a very astute businessman, because he would not be a millionaire or multimillionaire at this point in time in his life if he was not as such, right? Because he is a
Yeah,
self-made man. He is a
he is.
self-made man, 100%.
Yeah, if anything, you should like respect the hustle that Keemstar has.
100%.
Like he's one of the hardest working people I've ever seen on like a self-made person platform type thing.
Sure.
It's crazy. It's insane.
I will say that, knowing that, I am without a hesitation, I will say, I guarantee there's contracts that were signed far as between Keemstar and Salvo, for as far as pay and stuff, right? It wasn't just a handshake type deal, as well as I'm sure there was a contract between Keemstar and Chris the Narc, right? Because he's an employee as well. Any employee. Let me go further, because Keemstar has multiple employees. I have no doubt in my mind that each one of those employees has a contract that stipulates out, this is your job is this, and this is your pay, and this is what you'll be paid per week, per month, whatever the term of payment, pay window there is.
Yeah.
So,
and the feeling I get from like those type of people, those entrepreneurial types, because I have a few friends who are like into lucrative business type deals, like without getting too much detail, they're pretty successful people. And when I talk to them about business, because I'm always interested in how people view things from different aspects of life, because it allows me to broaden my worldview on into how people think. Is one of my best friends who is a very successful, he's like a marketing, he manages multimedia accounts for a big marketing firm. Yeah. And the way he explains it to me, and we talked about morality in business one time. We had this conversation about how things work and how he works with his customers, his clients. He saw it as somebody that's like, I never do wrong by my customers, but there's a cost in doing things, and I'm not going to baby a customer. Saying like, if a customer is naive and they choose my services, without knowing that they're overpaying or that they could go elsewhere for a better deal, it's not my responsibility to inform them. That's kind of their fault for not being informed. They were being ignorant, and it's if it suits my purposes, then so be it. They see it as an amoral process, not something that's like wrong. Yeah. And that's fair. That's why you're so successful. You're willing to do those kinds of things to get ahead, and it's like fine, But that just sheds a little light on how people think in business wise.
So I'll say either the contract wasn't explicit on this type of thing, or maybe it was, and Salvo didn't read it as closely as he should have. I don't know, but I will say this is, when you and this is kind of expanding on something you said earlier, if you are going into what is going to be presumably a very lucrative business venture, which I think the Keemstar show is probably going to be very lucrative. He's already got some sponsorships like from Meta PC and things like that. And I'm knowing Keem, I'm sure that he's working other brand deals. There's going to be merch that's going to be involved and so forth, right? He's going to get advertisers. He's going to do a lot of stuff. Not only that, but he's already monetized on the channel. He's already got he's already got people subscribing to the chat, paid memberships to the channel and so forth, right? So it's already starting to become, money maker for him. Now, how much money is he outlined? I don't know, but. And
then there's probably even like things like potentiality, like, those like clause and contracts and shit for like, where could this go potentially if it by this time, if, how profitable is this venture? How profitable could it be? Like really boring legal stuff that like you would want to go through if you're starting a project with somebody very successful, I guess.
I know back in the day, and I think this is public knowledge. I don't think I'm telling tales out of school here. Keemstar was trying to work a business deal with Nick DiOrio to start putting, like the documentary type videos and stuff that Nick does up on his channel, right? And I think Nick had to ultimately walk away from that because the deal that was being offered was not in Nick's best interest.
Yeah. So Nick was probably advocating appropriately for himself. And I imagine he's somebody that would be able to do that. He seems pretty not ruthless, because ruthless sounds kind of like he's,
business savvy. He's
Uh,
very business
he's a
savvy.
he's the appropriate level of aggressive with people
Yes.
in regards to his own well-being and
Yeah.
profitability,
Yeah.
which is you should definitely
Yeah,
do that.
Oh, 100%.
You know what's funny? I'm not business savvy.
Yeah.
I just kind of like have an idea of how things work. If I
Sure.
was business savvy, I'd be successful. I used to you know what I used to do, because I thought I was going to be an entrepreneur, and I used to listen to like Gary Vee and shit. I used to think I was going to do like wholesale real estate. So I would get like a fucking like a hard money lender and go buy cash property, like give cash value, cash offers. Jesus, see, this is why I'm
Yeah.
not good on houses that were being foreclosed on, and then like renovate them and flip them for
Yeah.
like an investor. But the thing is I would cold call Zillow houses and be like, and just make offers that I had no authorization to make.
Sure.
I would like lowball 40K and they would just giggle at me in the phone. So yeah, like it's funny. You can just do that and pretend like you're a businessman.
Yeah.
And if you're into like fucking guru shit.
So Mr. Gamer says they're addressing the editor situation live stream soon, and that James Cook was the editor. We covered that already. Mr. Gamer.
James Cook, from all accounts, other than the avoiding pronouns, it's like their pronouns. It's he. Like you can say he. They said they. Fine, whatever. But he seemed like an honest dude. I don't know, from the way he was describing the situation. He's like, hey, what the fuck? I wasn't paid. And the only recourse I have is to go public. So can somebody pay me? That kind of, that's kind of the vibe I got.
The only thing that I will say that he might possibly have cut his throat on was making a video like that.
Now it gives now you're not going to be able to get work because people are going to be spooked. Yeah. So you get, and that's the other thing too with these projects, like with Chris and Salvo, more so Chris, because he's the least viewed of the two, the least pull. So like if say he like negotiates too heavily on his own end, the people like Keemstar could get cold feet and just say, fuck you, I'm getting another guy who's more agreeable.
Oh, sure.
And it's, so there's that too. You have to like weigh in all that shit. And I imagine it's probably stressful,
Oh, yeah. Well, without a doubt. I mean, I think a situation like if I was, let's say I had this awesome talent to be able to do thumbnails or edit videos or whatever, right? Let's say I actually had
hypothetically
had an ounce of talent to be able to do anything creative, which I do not. But let's just say I did. Let's just say I did, for argument's sake here. If I was hired by a larger creator, like someone like a Salvo or Keemstar or something like that, to do something, and was going to get paid, $70 or whatever, I think especially if I was trying to get my name out there, my brand, my abilities, whatever talents out there, I don't. And if there was some sort of delay in pay or whatever, I think I would have been a little bit more. I just don't think I would have made a video trying to expose them like that, just because a couple 3 weeks had passed. Now, but to give some, I don't know what Mr. Cook's financial situation is. That $70 could have been a substantial amount of money that he was, dependent upon to help make ends meet. Maybe he's doing this as a sideline thing because maybe his main source of income is not enough to sustain his being able to live. And so the $70 could have been, quite a bit of money. So I'm not just poo-pooing on him or anything, but I think what I'm trying to say is if he perchance ever watches this or whatever, is maybe I would have been a little bit more persistent and staying within the DMs, because I know one thing in the video he talks about, he said he didn't want to sit there and pester him in the DMs 100 times.
Well, you kind of need to if you're protecting your income, but here's 2 points real quick.
Go ahead.
One, to your point, maybe you should have protected your income by going, hey, you give me half as a down payment, and then the other half you're gonna pay upon completion by this date. If you don't take it by this date, we're gonna have issues. We're gonna readdress it, whatever. Well, also, the second thing is maybe if you got burned, you learn from this and walk away and go, okay, so I won't do that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like instead of, but I
100%,
don't know. This
100%.
like I said, it could have been a number of things that caused him to go public with this. It's
Well,
$70.
okay. To James's credit, he does discuss that in the video.
Oh,
He
okay.
said he says he had people give him advice to where he should have got a down payment deposit, if you will, right? And then when he gave them the potential final product, he should have had it watermarked to where it would not be usable. And then once he received full payment, then he would have given them the unwatermarked final product,
or not fully rendered or something like that.
Well, I mean, I think in a situation they're going to want to watch. They're going to want a final rendering, whatever, to view it in its entirety. And I understand that, but if you put a big watermark across the top, across it, whatever, it's kind of faded, which you can do, I know enough about editing that you 100% can do, to where it shows that it's kind of copyrighted by you still, and to show that they haven't bought it from you, then they can't use it, and that will ensure that you get the money. He says those two things, and he says going forward, he will probably do these things. So he has learned a little bit. Okay, so maybe his business savvy wasn't where it needed to be. It got leveled up a little bit. But another thing I would give him is this: I would not be worried about being in somebody's DMs, and I don't give a shit if they're a 10,000 sub YouTuber, 1,000 sub YouTuber, or a 2 million sub YouTuber. If they have contracted you to do something and they owe you money, you be persistent in those DMs until they get back to you, to the point where they block you. Now, when I mean persistent, I wouldn't say like every 5 minutes DMing their asses. I DM them, say, hey, I'm still waiting on payment. I let a day or two go by, and every couple 3 days I'll be saying, hey, where's my money? Right now, if you go by and 6 months or some shit has transpired, and they ain't paid
That's way too long. Yeah,
maybe even 3 months, whatever, 2 months, whatever.
I think a month, and then my ass goes public. You wait a month to pay me. I'm like, fuck you.
Okay, then okay, fair enough. A month. I don't know what I mean. Whatever. That's. I'm not going to be too arbitrary over how, but I think you do in the background through the DMs privately as best as you can, because to me that's no different than if you owe your doctor, like you go to the doctor and you got a bill, they're going to hound you. Right?
Yeah.
To pay them.
Yeah.
And eventually
as they should.
and eventually they'll turn you over to a collecting agency, and then they're really going to hound you.
Oh, yes, they will.
Okay.
But to your point, but like if you think about it too, like so this guy was timid about going in the DMs that off because he wanted to bother them. But then the logical next step for him, instead of hounding them more in the DMs, is a even further this is more of a pester, I think, going public. So that step is way over the hounding the DMs thing. So it's like, to your point, like, how is that the less confrontational option? I don't.
To me,
in my mind, I think it's a lot more confrontational to go public than it is to continue to pester.
I would even say it's a nuclear option, dude.
Kind of, because you're taking a hit. You're taking a hit because other people would worry that if they and if to be fair, he wouldn't go public unless they paid him. Yeah. So like if you. But then again, I don't know how much of that is what kind of decorum is kind of expected there. Yeah. I think honestly, if it's fair game, if you don't pay your fucking people what they're owed at time of service, go fuck yourself. You can get lambasted publicly for sure. So more power to James.
Yeah.
Unless he was a cuck and he didn't negotiate properly for himself, that's on him.
Yeah. So I think where I come down on this is simply this. The editor did not handle this in a smart business manner. I think that's as looking. I would not have handled it the way he did. Yeah. Secondly, Keemstar. If we're strictly looking at this as strictly as like a business standpoint, him signal boosting that shit was not the right way to handle it either.
Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Okay, fair enough, right? But if he's worried about it tarnishing his brand, which is what he said, right? One of the things that he's arguing out here about, right, is he doesn't want it, he doesn't want this looking bad on him, right?
I don't think he believes that.
Well, he may not believe it, but that's what he's saying.
He said this. from Keemstar's perspective, I think that's just to further the interaction. Like he doesn't care.
Yeah. Okay. So 100%, I think Keemstar looked at this as an opportunity because drama sells, right? We know this. Drama sells. Drama draws attention. Drama draws clicks, draws eyes to watch things, right?
And now everyone's wondering whether or not Salvo there's even going to be a show. So everyone's talking about it. Yeah.
Yes. We're talking about it, right? It gives
exactly.
Us, and we're thankful for you. Understand? We're thankful you did these things because it gives us
thank you, Papa Keem.
Papa
bless. Papa bless.
Papa bless. Papa bless. Yeah, Papa feeding us.
Feeding us that clout.
I appreciate this. And honestly, when it's all said and done, if we're truthful about this, looking at this purely at I guess you'd call it a business standpoint, whatever. The only ones who probably might lose out on this a little bit, I don't know, might actually be the editor in question, right? But there again, too, here's the thing, right? He may grow from this as well, right? Because now he has the thing, well, that was the guy that Keemstar screwed over. And let's just be honest, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that don't like Daniel Keem. They just don't like the man, right?
He's like a miniature Orange Man Bad scenario on the internet. Like people just fucking. He's reviled. Is it reviled? Is that the word?
Yeah.
By the public. Yeah,
I think so.
And there is a black swan here. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you already showed the clip. Did you show the clip about what Keem said to Salvo?
We just see this one here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there is a black swan.
Okay.
Considering the way that Keem acted during Baited back in the day, we have previous behavior.
Oh yes.
We could be seeing baby hurt Keem. My feelings are hurt. You disrespected me publicly. You didn't toe the line. You're off the show. This could be a Tommy C 2.0. So this is that could be a black swan. The show could tank out of Keem's inability to cope with this shit going on.
Or maybe even you might say hubris a little bit.
Hubris hat. Yeah. Well, Keem's always wearing his hubris hat. Let's be frank about that. Like he's it's Daniel Keem. Dollar in the Woods, Cotton Candy, G Fuel.
Yeah.
Why am I getting so much hate? Why?
Matter of fact,
to this day, why is Daniel Keem still getting so much hate? I don't know.
And just I was drinking cotton candy flavored G Fuel for the show today.
Yeah, I'll become if Keem pays me, I'll become the biggest Keemstar simp in the world. I don't care. I have no ethics. Like if I get on the my opinions will change so quick.
Hang on. Are you saying you would gobble the Keemstar dick?
Not figuratively, yes. Monetarily, absolutely, sir. Turn the pipe on. But no, not literally, because
so not literally. You're not going to sit there and goggle.
He's not a looker, I don't think.
Oh, Mr. Gertz does not approve.
Does not approve. He's finding out that I'm bendy on my morals. Yeah, I'm not the pillar of virtue that you thought I was. Oh no, darn.
So, just for the record,
no, I am. I want y'all to. I have to maintain this control over my image. I am a pillar of virtue. It is my job to lecture you guys and show you that I am a god amongst men when it comes to morality, and I can call these people out for being bad. And I do not bend on my morals. No, I will never. No, never. No, because I'm a paragon of everything right. OnlyFans win. That's to be posted. It's gonna be exclusively feet pics, and it's going to be a $20 subscription fee tier, and it needs to at least get to $2,000 a month, or else it's going down. Yeah, so spread the word if you want it. It's got to have the numbers. Mr. Gamer says in the chat that didn't come out of left field.
So just so that we are what's what I'm looking for here. Not going up against the mighty Keemstar show because they're fixing to go live here in about a minute. Kind of want to hang on here.
Dollar in
bend
the
over.
woods?
So bend over.
Okay.
Bend over says, and now it's my turn to bend over Banana Grabber.
Oh, we lost a subscriber too. I think somebody got upset that I was fluctuating on my morality.
Oh no.
No.
But anyway, like I said,
$5. Bend over.
he said you better, was it grease those butt cheeks? Is that wasn't
Yeah.
that the thing? Grease and butt
Get
cheeks.
the lotion out. Yeah.
Anyway, like I
Anyways,
said, I don't want to go up against the mighty Keemstar, because I'm
I
sure everybody
do.
would.
I
Do
want
you?
to 1v1 him in the Pentagon, in the Octagon. Pentagon.
Pentagon? Oh,
The
okay.
Octagon. Yeah, I want to take him out, give him break his arm in the
Okay.
on the Octagon, in the Octagon.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
But anyway, I appreciate you guys coming and joining us today. Banana, I know that you've had some opportunities extended to you through your job, and so you've not been streaming and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, I've become the CEO of Domino's Pizza's ad campaigns. I am
Yeah.
running their woke exclusive person of color pizza ads on NBC, and that's taking up a majority of my time. So it's
Mm.
becoming a very arduous task. Yeah.
Well, so I've been doing a little bit of streaming over here. You guys, I got bringing up here. I just did a show Saturday, as a matter of fact, with my youngest son and with Kristen Ark. Um, and it was I think it was a pretty good show. We were
Najwa
going
6?
New Audience 6, yeah. Or NAD, they just call him the NAD lad. I think that's
Nad
what it
Dog.
is.
Natty Light.
NAD Dog 2020, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we were going over. I found a video where it was some young women in their age group, which was like 20 or early 20s to mid 20s, 26, 27, somewhere in there. And these women and what they expected out of men that age, and both those young men are of that age bracket. So we kind of, what they expected versus what, was, and so if you would like is very entertaining, I thought, stream, or at least I thought it was. And we had a lot of fun with it. Go check that out. Let's say it's called Expectations versus Reality: What Women Want versus What They Get.
Yeah, I tuned in. You're having some good streams recently. I enjoy them.
Yeah, yeah,
You got
and
Sonya, Kristen Ark on the other night.
yeah, 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 and so anyway, and I'm like I said, I'm trying to do more over there. Trying to I guess, yeah. But anyway, uh, so, and also, like I said, you can find me on Dead on Dave 3 nights or anymore. It's getting worse, almost every night a week. But Dead on Dave, we're going to be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, and we're going to be going over some more of this. And Dave's going to be sharing his thoughts and opinions on what have you. So, anyway, so. And I guess with that, guys, let's get out of here so we can all go over and watch the Keemstar show. So Banana, you're not going to be here though next week, right? Because you're leaving on a jet plane.
I'm leaving Wednesday out of Houston to go to London. Yep.
And you're going, okay, and you won't be back to when?
The 21st.
Okay, which will be, let me pull up my handy dandy little calendar here. So you won't be back till the following Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay, so show next week. For right now, let's plan on having a show. I've got a couple of different people, 2 or 3 different people I'm going to reach out to fill in Banana's chair. So we'll still try to have a show next week, if all possible. And then the following, the 23rd, depending on how jet lagged Banana is, hopefully he will have recouped by then. I hope to have a show with him we can do a show on the 23rd, because I want to hear about your trip to London and all the hilarity that is going to ensue.
Oh boy, here's hoping. Yeah.
So here's what I need you to do, Banana.
Bring a journal.
No, you've got your phone. I want you taking pictures. I want you doing little videos, vlogging type things, whatever. And we'll try to get that, and we'll try to pull them up and use them during the show, man. I think we should I think we have some fun with that. I think we kind of, and you get to tell us some stories, and I want to sit back and hear these stories that Sunday.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
That is if you're not too jet lagged or whatever. If you are, maybe we can do like a midweek show again, kind of like we did this last week. Maybe something like that. So
yeah, we'll figure something out.
We'll figure out something, guys. But needless to say, we will be here next Sunday, and hopefully maybe we can even get an update from Banana and during the show to make sure he's okay. So
yeah, I'll send a SOS if something goes wrong. Don't worry.
All right. Well, listen, guys, you guys take care. Keep your powder dry, and we'll see you in the funny papers.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, folks. I forgot to set the audio sources on it.
We are in the show.